All right, determine a price for a product. Once price objectives have been determined, the next step is to determine the possible prices for products. There will usually be more than one price that can be charged for a product. Pricing may be based on demand, cost, or the amount of competition. Demand based pricing, pricing that is determined by how much customers are willing to pay for a product or service, is called demand based pricing. Potential customers are surveyed to find out what they would be willing to pay for the product. The highest price identified is the maximum price that can be charged. If the bakery at Louisa's Gourmet Luxuries becomes widely recognized as the best in town, Louisa could begin charging higher prices for her baked goods. People will be willing to pay a higher price for a loaf of bread that they believe is the best available. Cost based pricing. Cost based pricing is determined by using the wholesale cost of an item as the basis for the price charged. A markup price is a price determined by adding a percentage amount to the wholesale cost of an item. A markdown price is a price determined by subtracting a percentage amount from the retail price of an item. Louisa buys artichoke hearts for $1.77 a can. Now, to cover her operating expenses and allow for a profit, she adds 40% to her wholesale costs, or 71 cents, which is the new price of $2.48 is her retail price. So wholesale times the markup percentage markup equals the markup amount. Wholesale cost plus the markup amount equals the retail price. Sometimes business owners purchase too much of a particular item and want to sell more of it quickly. To do so, they mark down the retail price of the product. You should be careful not to mark down an item below its cost. You don't want to lose money. Louisa usually charges $10.50 for a large bottle of olive oil. To sell more, she decides to mark down its retail price by 20%. So retail price is $10.50 times the percentage markdown of 20%, or point 0.2 is a markdown of 210. You take the retail price, you subtract the markdown, and you get the markdown price. Here's another one called competition-based pricing. Pricing that is determined by considering what competitors charge for the same good or service is called competition-based pricing. Once you find out what your competition charges for an item, you must decide whether to charge the same price, slightly more, or slightly less. Louisa's business will compete with a gourmet grocery, which has been in her community for 5 years. She cannot charge more than her competitor for items that customers could purchase there. She decides initially to charge a few cents less than the gourmet grocery on all packaged goods. She will keep an eye on competitors to make sure she stays up to date on what they're charging for their products. Okay, let me see who I have here. Uh, Attendance. AJ Lambert, Abdiel, Alessandra, Angeline, Anthony Little, Dominic Staffa, Drew Fiddler, Emmanuel Marte, Galilea, Hilary Santos, Jeremy Goodman, Kimberly Villacorta, uh, Noe Lorenzo, Rodney Schaefer, Sean Levan, and Miss Carabello. All right. I'm just going to show the PowerPoint quick. Noe Lorenzo, you out there today? You having a little breakfast action? What you got? Tuna fish for breakfast, huh? Well, I like tuna fish, but I don't generally eat it for breakfast. But you know what? I can imagine that it's probably pretty healthy for you. Um, okay. All right. So determine a price for a product here. There's usually more than one price that can be charged for a product. Demand-based pricing is pricing that's determined by how much customers are willing to pay for a product or service. Survey customers to determine what they would be willing to pay for a product. And the highest price identified is the maximum price that can be charged. All right. So very good. What's cost-based pricing? Cost-based pricing is determined by using the wholesale cost of an item as the basis for the price charged. So you have a markup price, which is determined by adding a percentage amount to the wholesale cost of an item. Markup amount, wholesale cost times percentage markup. The retail price is a wholesale cost plus the markup amount. The markdown price is determined by subtracting a percentage amount from the retail price. And the markdown amount is the retail price times the percentage markdown. The markdown price is the retail price minus the markdown amount. Let's look at competition-based pricing. Competition-based pricing is pricing that's determined by considering what competitors charge for the same good or service. Three methods for determining the price to charge for a product. We talked about demand-based pricing, competition-based pricing, and this is going really well here, isn't it? And cost-based pricing. So demand-based pricing, cost-based pricing, and competition-based pricing. Questions, comments, concerns, any complaints, any issues? All right.